Here's a clean outro version for your US half-dollar coin video. Welcome to my channel. Today we explored the United States of America half-dollar coin with Liberty and E Pluribus Unum. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Do you want me to also make a collection of outros for every US denomination, penny, nickel, dime, quarter, half-dollar, and dollar, so you can use them anytime? Here's a clean outro version for your US half-dollar coin video. Welcome to my channel. Today we explored the United States of America half-dollar coin with Liberty and E Pluribus Unum. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Do you want me to also make a collection of outros for every US denomination, penny, nickel, dime, quarter, half? Here's a long, detailed narrative in paragraph style about the 1776 to 1976 D. Eisenhower bicentennial dollar, designed to be about a 10-minute spoken read, full of history, design details, and collector insights. The 1776 to 1976 Eisenhower bicentennial dollar, minted at Denver with the D mint mark, stands as one of the most iconic commemorative coins in United States history. Issued to celebrate the nation's 200th anniversary of independence, this large dollar coin embodies not only American patriotism but also the pride of 2 centuries of freedom and progress. Struck between 1975 and 1976, it carries the dual date 1776 to 1976 instead of a single year, reminding every holder that this coin was made specifically for the bicentennial celebration. The obverse of the coin, designed by chief engraver Frank Gasparo, retains the portrait of President Dwight D. Eisenhower, the celebrated World War II general and 34th President of the United States, who symbolizes strength, leadership, and honor. Surrounding his portrait are the inscriptions Liberty at the top, the national motto In God We Trust to the left, and the dual date 1776 to 1976 centered at the bottom. A small D mint mark, placed just below Eisenhower's neck, identifies that the coin was struck at the Denver Mint. The reverse of the bicentennial Eisenhower dollar is where the coin truly sets itself apart from the regular issues. Instead of the Apollo 11 eagle design used on earlier Eisenhower dollars, the reverse features a bold patriotic image created by young art student Dennis R. Williams, who was just 22 years old when his design was chosen through a national competition. His design shows the Liberty Bell superimposed on the surface of the moon, a powerful symbol linking America's revolutionary beginnings with its modern achievements in space exploration. The image is surrounded by the inscriptions United States of America at the top, E Pluribus Unum above the Liberty Bell, and $1 at the bottom. The ringing Liberty Bell represents freedom, while the moon serves as a nod to the Apollo program and humanity's leap into the cosmos. This combination of imagery captured the spirit of both tradition and progress, showing that in 200 years, America had grown from a fledgling nation of colonies to a world leader in science, exploration, and democracy. Technically, the 1976 D. Eisenhower bicentennial dollar was produced in 2 different metal types. The vast majority were struck in the standard copper-nickel clad composition, weighing 22.68 grams with a diameter of 38.1 millimeters. These were made for general circulation and are the coins most commonly found in change, bankrolls, or old collections. However, special collector editions were struck in 40% silver at both the San Francisco Mint and the Denver Mint. The 40% silver versions were sold directly to collectors in bicentennial sets, and these coins, because of their precious metal content and limited production, carry greater value today. All varieties, however, share the same design and dual date, so identifying them requires a close look at the edge color or mint packaging. In terms of production, the Denver Mint struck an astounding number of bicentennial dollars, over 287 million clad coins alone. This makes the 1976 D. Eisenhower dollar one of the highest mintage large-size US dollar coins ever made. Because of this, most circulated examples remain common and affordable. A worn 1976 D. Eisenhower dollar is typically worth only face value to a few dollars, depending on condition. However, the real value for collectors lies in higher-grade mint state examples. Well-preserved coins with strong luster, sharp details, and minimal bag marks can bring significantly higher premiums. For instance, coins graded MS-65 or MS-66 by professional grading services such as PCGS or NGC can sell for $50 to several $100s. Particularly outstanding examples with brilliant toning or ultra-high grades above Ms. 67 can command prices in the thousands, even though the coin itself is not rare in absolute numbers. The 40% silver issues, especially in proof condition, also hold steady collector demand due to their silver content and special status as official bicentennial commemoratives. From a historical perspective, the 1776 to 1976 Eisenhower dollar is more than just money. It is a piece of America's 200th birthday celebration, a milestone that included parades, fireworks, tall ship gatherings, and special mementos issued by the government. In fact, not only dollars but also quarters and half dollars were given unique bicentennial reverse designs, making 1976 the only time in modern history when 3 circulating U.S. coins carried commemorative artwork simultaneously. The Eisenhower dollar, because of its large size, offered artists the greatest canvas to showcase bicentennial symbolism, which is why the Liberty Bell and Moon design remains so memorable. The mottos inscribed on the coin also carry deep meaning. Liberty stands boldly above Eisenhower's head, a constant reminder of the core American ideal first fought for in 1776. In God we trust, continues the spiritual and cultural heritage of the United States. And E pluribus unum, which translates to, out of many, one, reflects the unity of 50 diverse states forming a single nation. Together, these words and images made the bicentennial dollar a miniature piece of history and a statement of national pride. For collectors today, the 1976 D. Eisenhower bicentennial dollar is often a gateway into the fascinating world of numismatics. It is large, impressive, historically significant, and widely available at affordable prices, making it ideal for beginners. At the same time, advanced collectors chase the finest known examples, deep cameo proofs, or rare silver editions, ensuring that this coin remains popular across all levels of the hobby. It also serves as a nostalgic reminder for many Americans who lived through the bicentennial, recalling the excitement of holding a new coin that celebrated 200 years of independence. In conclusion, the 1776 to 1976 D. Eisenhower bicentennial dollar is more than a piece of metal. It is a patriotic tribute to the founding of the nation, a commemoration of progress from the Liberty Bell to the Moon, and a lasting memento of the United States' 200th birthday. Whether one holds a worn example from circulation, a gleaming mint state coin, or a prized silver proof, each piece tells the same powerful story of liberty won, liberty preserved, and liberty celebrated. It is a coin that unites history, art, and symbolism, making it one of the most meaningful U.S. dollars ever struck. Do you want me to also make this into a ready-to-read YouTube narration script with intro, pacing cues, and an engaging closing line for your channel, so it perfectly fills 10 minutes of spoken time? Here's a long, continuous narration about the 1976 D. United States Bicentennial Kennedy half dollar, detailed enough to last about 10 minutes when read aloud for your channel. The 1976 D. United States of America half dollar, inscribed with Liberty, In God We Trust, and E pluribus unum, is one of the most celebrated coins of modern American history, struck to commemorate the 200th anniversary of the United States of America's independence. This coin, commonly known as the Bicentennial Kennedy half dollar, was produced at the Denver Mint, identified by its D mint mark, and it stands as both a circulating coin and a patriotic tribute to the birth of the nation. On the obverse, designed by Chief Engraver Gilroy Roberts, we see the familiar portrait of President John F. Kennedy, facing left, with the inscriptions Liberty arching around the top, In God We Trust, placed just below his chin, and the dual date 1776 to 1976 below the portrait, marking both the year of independence and the 200th anniversary. This obverse design, already iconic since its first use in 1964, took on even deeper meaning during the bicentennial, as Kennedy himself symbolized ideals of leadership, courage, and progress that echoed the spirit of the Founding Fathers. The reverse design, however, is unique to the bicentennial issues and was created by artist Seth G. Huntington, chosen through a national design competition. It features a stunning depiction of Independence Hall in Philadelphia, the historic building where both the Declaration of Independence and the U.S. Constitution were debated and signed. The detailed engraving shows the famous clock tower of Independence Hall, with inscriptions above reading United States of America and 200 Years of Freedom, while below appear E pluribus unum and the denomination half dollar. Unlike the usual presidential seal reverse seen on other Kennedy half dollars, this image was meant to connect directly to the nation's revolutionary roots, reminding Americans of the moment in 1776 when the colonies united to declare their independence. Technically, the bicentennial half-dollars were struck in two versions: the standard copper-nickel clad circulation strikes and the special 40% silver collector versions, but the 1976 D issue most often found in circulation is the copper-nickel type, weighing 11.34 grams, with a diameter of 30.6 millimeters, a thickness of 2.15 millimeters, and a reeded edge. Over 287 million bicentennial half-dollars were struck at the Denver Mint, making them common in circulated condition, though higher-grade examples in mint state 65 or above remain desirable for collectors. The coin also carries symbolic weight. The dual date 1776 to 1976 emphasizes continuity from the nation's founding to its 200th birthday, while the phrase 200 years of freedom boldly reminds Americans of the sacrifices and struggles that made liberty possible. Collectors today value the 1976 D bicentennial half-dollar not just for its abundance but for its history, as it represents a time when the entire nation came together to celebrate its heritage. From a cultural perspective, this coin holds a special place in the memories of Americans who lived through the bicentennial celebrations of 1976. It was a time of parades, tall ships, fireworks, and national pride, and the circulating commemorative coinage, the quarter, half-dollar, and dollar, gave everyone a way to carry a piece of that celebration in their pocket. The Kennedy half-dollar was especially meaningful, since Kennedy's presidency was still fresh in memory, and honoring him on such a milestone anniversary connected the country's revolutionary beginnings with more recent history. Though the half-dollar was already declining in everyday circulation by the 1970s, these bicentennial coins ensured that Kennedy's image and the message of freedom continued to be widely recognized. For collectors, the coin represents a one-year-only reverse design, which makes it a standout issue in the long Kennedy half-dollar series. In conclusion, the 1976 D. Kennedy bicentennial half-dollar is more than just currency. It is a commemorative piece of art, a historical reminder, and a patriotic symbol of America's 200 years of independence. While plentiful in circulated grades, its lasting value comes from its cultural and historical meaning, connecting the ideals of liberty, independence, and unity from the era of the Founding Fathers through the presidency of John F. Kennedy and into the modern era. Whether collected in high mint state condition, preserved in special sets, or simply remembered as pocket change from the bicentennial celebrations, this coin remains one of the most beloved commemoratives of the 20th century. Backhand index pointing right. Would you like me to also make you a YouTube-style script version of this, with intro hook, mid-story pacing, and outro call to action, so you can read it directly for your channel? Here's a long, continuous narration about the 1990 D United States Kennedy half-dollar, detailed enough to last around 10 minutes when read aloud for your channel. The 1990 D United States of America half-dollar, inscribed with Liberty and In God We Trust, is part of the long-running Kennedy half-dollar series, one of the most recognizable and culturally significant coins in modern U.S. history. Struck at the Denver Mint, identified by the small D mint mark located just below Kennedy's bust on the obverse, this coin continues the tradition that began in 1964 as a tribute to President John F. Kennedy, who was tragically assassinated in 1963. The obverse design, created by Chief Engraver Gilroy Roberts, features the left-facing profile of Kennedy, capturing both his youthful energy and his enduring legacy as a symbol of hope and progress in American history. Above the portrait is the bold inscription Liberty, while to the left of Kennedy's neck appears the motto, In God We Trust, and below his bust is the date 1990. The reverse design, crafted by Frank Gasparo, depicts the presidential seal, a majestic heraldic eagle with its wings spread wide, holding an olive branch of peace in its right talon and a bundle of 13 arrows in its left, symbolizing the nation's readiness to defend itself. Above the eagle's head is a ring of 13 stars, representing the original colonies, with a radiant glory of light surrounding them. Encircling the design are the inscriptions United States of America and the denomination half-dollar. This pairing of Kennedy's portrait on the front and the presidential seal on the back creates a coin that not only serves as money but also as a patriotic emblem of leadership, unity, and resilience. From a technical standpoint, the 1990 D. Kennedy half-dollar is composed of a copper-nickel clad alloy, an inner core of pure copper sandwiched between outer layers of copper-nickel, giving the coin its silvery appearance. It weighs 11.34 grams, has a diameter of 30.6 millimeters, a thickness of 2.15 millimeters, and a reeded edge, consistent with other circulating half-dollars of the era. The Denver Mint struck more than 20 million examples in 1990, making the coin widely available in circulation at the time. However, by the late 20th century, the half-dollar was no longer a common coin in everyday commerce. It had largely disappeared from cash transactions and was instead distributed primarily to banks, collectors, and casino use. As a result, many 1990 half dollars remained in uncirculated rolls, bags, and sets, which means that while circulated pieces are abundant and generally worth only face value, higher-grade uncirculated examples with full luster, sharp details, and minimal marks are much more desirable to collectors. Coins graded MS-65 and above carry a significant premium compared to circulated ones, and they showcase the beauty of the original designs by Roberts and Gasparo. Historically, the Kennedy half-dollar remains one of the most beloved U.S. coin series, not just for its artistry but for the emotional connection it carries. When the coin was first released in 1964, it was immediately hoarded by the public as a keepsake in memory of the fallen president. That spirit continued into the 1990s, as the coin remained a popular collectible even though it had little practical use in circulation. The 1990 D issue, therefore, symbolizes both the continuation of Kennedy's legacy and the persistence of a denomination that had become more ceremonial than practical in American life. Still, it reminds us of an important figure in American history, one whose ideals of service, unity, and progress resonated strongly across generations. For collectors, the 1990 D half dollar is a connection to that history and to the broader story of U.S. coinage in the 20th century. Symbolically, the coin is rich with meaning. On the obverse, Kennedy's portrait represents leadership, sacrifice, and the forward-looking optimism of the 1960s, even though the coin itself was struck nearly 3 decades later. On the reverse, the presidential seal reinforces the authority, strength, and ideals of the nation, combining the message of peace with the readiness for defense. Together, these designs transform the coin into more than just currency. They make it a miniature monument to American values and identity. Collectors today often see the 1990 D as a common yet important piece, one that may not be rare but still carries significant historical and cultural resonance. In conclusion, the 1990 D Kennedy half dollar is a coin that embodies the traditions of U.S. coinage, the enduring legacy of John F. Kennedy, and the patriotic imagery of the presidential seal. Though produced in large numbers and common in circulation, its beauty lies in its design, its symbolism, and its place in the broader narrative of American history. Whether found in pocket change, preserved in mint sets, or collected in high-grade condition, the coin remains a proud part of the Kennedy half-dollar series and a tangible reminder of America's heritage, values, and leaders. Backhand index pointing right. Do you also want me to create a YouTube narration version of this with a catchy opening line, smooth pacing, and outro call to action so it's ready to record for your coin channel?